Money Radio, discussing the business of making and spending money.
From the beautiful city of Abuja, it is my pleasure to warmly welcome you to this week's edition of Money Radio. This week's edition of Money Radio, we're talking specifically about the national economy segment of the program, today being Monday. Today, we are discussing a topic that says Nigeria's economic population growth conundrum, the way forward. Yes, it is a conundrum because as the economy is growing, albeit at a marginal level, the population is growing almost double that rate. And that has been by average over the past 7, 8 years. It has been like that. And so to discuss the topic with me in the studio is Sir Anthony Uko. So you're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, you look like the weekend was good.
Yeah, really, it was.
Yeah. Welcome back
Thank you.
to this week's hard work. And I'm your host, Case Hammond. So we're talking about population growth at par with not at par
Mhm.
compared to economic growth. Over the past in the national economy report of today, we see that the period covered is actually 8 years. So over the past 8 years, Nigeria's economy has grown by average, and we want to make that clear, by average, because in 2021 the economy grew by 3.11%, and then in 2022 first quarter
Yeah.
by 3.4%. We are hoping that we'll have further growth. But if you look at from 2015 to 2022 first quarter, that average is 1.33%, whereas population growth by average between 2015 and 2022
Mhm.
has been 2.6. That is almost double.
Yeah.
What does that spell? And how can Nigeria overcome or reverse that trend? What's your take?
It's actually not a very positive looking um, scenario, especially when we look at it vis-a-vis the quality of life of the people, because we have seen the Nigeria's economy, the nation's population growing at a more faster rate than the GDP. And don't forget that when you're talking about GDP here, you're referring to the nominal
Yeah,
rate GDP, which does not, which just captures the total value of the activities, the goods and services that were produced within Nigeria within this period. We've not taken cognizance into, we've not taken into cognizance um, such indices like inflation, which has so much eroded the value, that the final value that we're talking about here. Imagine in 2015, what you would buy with 100 naira right now in 2022, you would most likely buy that same thing for 1,500.
I hope the people abroad are hearing what you are saying so that they will begin to respect us for enduring inflation.
So when you look at it, as a result of that, the prices of goods and services has gone up
Yes.
tremendously, and this has been reflected in the GDP nominal value that we have. But when you look at the quality of what that price has produced and how it has reflected in the lives of Nigerians, then they've had far less in terms of quality and quantity than what that amount would have brought in 2015. So here we are not just looking at the population outgrowing the nominal GDP value. We are also looking at inflation having beaten down the quality or the quantity of what that quantum of GDP value would bring to the value, would bring to people's lives. So it's not, it's really a conundrum if you want to, if you look at it.
Let's put things into perspective. Let's paint a picture. It's like four persons here sharing a quantum of meal,
Yeah.
say 1,000 naira loaf of bread,
Okay.
and that is like enough for them.
Mhm.
And then by the time you look at it, you see another two join.
Mm.
And then again, before you turn your face, another two join. And then another two join. We're talking about instead of four persons on that loaf of bread,
Yeah.
which was initially the case, and they were having at least
Okay.
enough, they were satisfied with it. Now you have 10 persons on that same loaf.
Mm.
But it even gets worse when you have 10 persons on a reduced loaf.
Low.
Because another thing that is affecting us here now is what people call shrinkonomics.
Yeah.
Shrinkonomics, and some people call it sachet economy. Yes. What is it? When people or companies,
Mhm.
the cost of production is actually increasing.
Mhm.
So people don't want to increase the price. Instead, they decrease the quantity or either the quantity or the quality.
Mhm.
That is shrinking uh, that particular product so that they will be able to make profit, meet up with their cost, the
Production
cost of
cost.
production,
Yeah.
and make some profit. So they
Yes.
are shrinking that product. And that is the situation actually we find ourselves in.
You're even being too fair to them. Do you know they've actually, not only have they reduced the quality and quantity, they've both reduced the quality and quantity and also increased the price. So you're being too fair when you say is either they reduce quality and quantity, and then because they don't want to increase the price. I have seen so many products, so many products that we consume now, that the quality has reduced, the quantity has reduced, and the price has increased.
I want you to look at the figures there. Can you make up something? Nigeria's population of Nigeria in selected years between
Between
1950
1950 and
and
2022.
2022. So let's look at, can you make up 2015 there or 2016?
2016, Nigeria's population indicates 185
Thousand.
million.
185 million
Yes,
persons.
185.9 million
Yes. Then let's go
people.
to 2018.
And 2018, we have 195.87.
From 185, the following year,
Yes,
195.
195.
2019,
2019, 200
200
million,
million. It's just a
200.9.
201 million.
Yes,
Mhm. 2021,
211.
211,400.
Yes,
And then
11
we
million. 11
211 million.
million
And then
405.
2016, you have, sorry, yeah, 20, no, sorry, 2022,
2022,
you have 216.
416.
Man, people are not playing you. People are not joking. With this kind of economy, people are really serious about the childbearing issue. And,
You know what they say, that especially for the lower um, the masses,
yes,
that when other things are not working, they take comfort in that other side. And when they do that without the proper planning,
It's
it
bad.
gets bad because
Uh,
you end up seeing so many families having more children than they can.
they say an idle mind is the devil's workshop. So maybe the devil has gone to that workshop. But it's serious. Serious. You know, we're talking about an economy that is actually the economic growth that is dwindling. You have increasing population. That spells poverty. And that is why the United Nations, as well as some other international organizations, have said that Nigeria's poverty rate has actually increased. In fact, it's going to increase this year by something in the neighborhood of 6 million,
Yes.
no, 10 million. And then the poverty rate actually in the country right now is 95 million. If you if you look at that and compare it with the, that is about 40 something percent. That is people living below
Below.
$2 per day. Now, when you talk about $2 per day, what are we talking about? $2 per day is about 1,100. Now, what can a person, no, not even a person, sometimes
A family.
a family will
Mm-hmm.
live on that amount per
Mm-hmm.
day.
Mm-hmm.
What can 1,100 buy? By the time you go to the market, in fact, there's somebody I want to quote somebody who said, uh, referring to the Zimbabwean
Mm-hmm.
economy, which he said we are slowly turning into. You go to the market with your money in a
In
bag,
a bag.
and then you come home with the product, whatever you went to buy, in your pocket.
Eh,
Yeah, things are
The
getting
reverse
is the
is now
reverse.
the case,
Yeah,
where you're supposed to go to the market with money in your pocket, and then you come back with the items you bought in
in the
a bag.
bag. Yes, and that is how bad things are going. And that's actually there is need for a reverse. A reverse. That means the economy has to grow further. Some economists, national economy, interviewed said that if this economy doesn't begin to grow at 7 to 8%, and another one said actually by about 14% to be able to reverse that trend. If not the
Yes.
case, then things are going to be bad. This may actually spark social unrest where people begin to do anything just to eat.
Mm.
Now, how can this economy grow by between 8 and 14%? That is the question. To reverse that trend of having higher population growth than GDP growth. How can the economy begin to, how can the country begin to reverse that trend? Because if not, then all of us are in trouble. How can this economy begin to reverse that trend? We talk about investments,
Investment.
investment.
Investment in what? Because actually when it's investing in the productive sector
Yes,
that can reverse this trend. If we're looking at people doing all this like portfolio investment, investing in stock markets, and
that's
investment
slush
without,
money.
yes, investment without, and that's what most of these like foreign investors are looking at, in, investing in stock portfolio investments and all that. And when you want to take a look at those who are actually ready to invest in the productive sector, there are so many factors that limit, that makes it not conducive for them to
Yeah,
invest in the productive sector. If you look at the cost of production in Nigeria
it's
right
very
now,
high.
is very high. We know that the diesel, the fuel situation is global.
It's global, but
Yes, but when you now bring it, you now add it to the other issues that Nigerians Nigeria has been tackling before the high cost of fuel added to it. The issue of foreign exchange,
Yes,
difficulty of accessing foreign exchange to get raw materials from abroad, it's there. It's been there, and now it's been compounded.
it's being compounded.
Yes, and then you now add that to the rising cost of fuel internationally that is affecting Nigeria um, seriously. You look at the high cost of diesel. Nigerians are not able, with the poor electricity situation.
Yes, that's another thing.
Businesses are not able to. They are getting diesel at a very high cost. So some of them are cutting down on their production, and some are shutting down altogether.
Yeah,
So this investment we're talking about, how is the conditions really, really right for us to see that level of investment that will enable the economy grow by as much as 14%?
and we're talking about foreign investors who would like to study to see how much, how can the people who want to produce for in Nigeria be able to afford.
Afford
If
the
you because if
things.
you produce and the people you're producing for don't
Can't
have,
buy it.
they
They
can't
don't
buy
have
it, it doesn't
the
make sense.
purchasing power
Mhm.
to purchase those things.
So this is like a vicious cycle, and
Cycle.
somebody needs to think and act outside of the box. If
Yes.
not, this is going to be a serious situation, and we need to be careful.
And more so, the leaders need to be careful. This being um, going the year before a major election, we
Yes,
have seen the way a lot of spending, high level of spending,
that is going to
and that's
increase
going to increase the rate of
inflation.
inflation. And then while all of that is going around, it's it's just money going around.
Yeah,
It's not
not
adding,
productive
not
money.
productive money
It's
going
just
around. It will
it's free
just
gift.
fuel further increase the rate of inflation and further impoverish
Nigerians, yes.
Nigerians.
Inflation is a tax, you know.
Yeah.
It's a tax. It's a terrible tax, and Nigerians are being made to pay that tax, which at, actually has to be reversed. It ought to be reversed. But how can we reverse that now? You can't tell people who are idle not to go into the activities,
Mm-hmm.
and whereas the idle mind will become the devil's
Yes.
workshop.
And you know, even if they are to, plan, use all this family planning um, devices and all that, it costs money.
It costs
And
money.
it's someone that has eaten and is okay and has something
Mhm.
somewhere will remember to take some money and then, okay, let me take care of that.
Exactly.
But where what they have is not even enough to put food on their tables. In fact, put a solid one meal on
You know,
a family's table,
you
on
know,
and on.
it's a, there was a story on the social media. I think that story made a newspaper headline too. Not a headline too, though. But there was a story on the social media not long ago, whereby this man had four children and he was managing. And then his wife got pregnant and gave birth to quadruplets.
Quadruplets.
And the man ran away. The man ran
He
away. He
had
simply
four,
ran away.
he had four, and they were struggling.
And they were
Then
struggling.
what do you think the situation would be when, with the cost of baby food
I'm telling you.
and everything that is required to take care
Even
of
pap.
infants? Even yes, even pap is extremely expensive as we
Exactly.
speak.
It's
So
expensive.
then having to do that for four children.
Then you come and add another four.
Yes,
Bah.
now that's what I'm saying. While you're doing it for the infants, you also have to think about the other four.
Exactly.
But, it's a big
That is
burden.
serious.
It's Nigerians are in a very critical condition, and
Yes.
So we've gone around this. What actually do the experts say is the way forward?
to the experts are not saying, and nobody suggested in that story that you should curb the activities of the other room. What experts are saying is grow the economy. Experts too want to be careful about putting their mouth in other people's business, other people's
The other room activities.
tenebrous business. They don't want to go into that aspect. They're trying to hide their head because if they say anything like that, they may get a backlash. So they only stopped at saying grow the economy. And well, that's where I can stop also. The government needs to do something to invest in the productive sector and grow the economy. Create jobs that will make people to earn living wage.
Living
And once people earn living wage, whatever they do in the dark, that is their business. You can't put mouth in there. So that's what we want to call this program to an end today. So you have been here again, and want to say thank you for making up your time to be here, and we appreciate you so much. Always, yeah. I want to say thank you to all our producers also, but our biggest thanks go to you who follow us loyally on this program. We'll be back tomorrow with the agribusiness and industry segment of Money Radio. Until we meet tomorrow, from here in the studio of Leadership TV, I say, have a great day. God bless you.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.